Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to Yoda Yoga and 10-minute timeout. We are going to move through a 10-minute flow here today. So get out your yoga mat. If you feel you need any props, you are welcome to take a hold of them. I will not be using any props myself. If you know that you need them, you're welcome to use them. Come to standing at the front of your mat. Find the mat with your feet. Lift the knees, engage the thighs. If you can, make sure those feet are close together. Maybe the heels and toes are touching. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears, roll them down the back, shine the palms towards the front of your mat. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, fingertips to touch. Exhale, take a forward fold. Keep those knees soft, allow the belly to rest on the thighs, drop the head. Maybe you circle out that neck in one direction and then the other. Place the palms down on the mat, step back with that right foot. You are always welcome to bring that right knee down. Bring the hands to the left knee. Maybe the hands come up overhead. Take one cycle of breath here. Exhale, the hands come down to the earth. Step back with that left foot. Come into your downward facing dog. On an inhale, slowly roll your way out to plank. We will not stay here. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Begin to walk the feet to meet the hands at the front of your mat. On an inhale, bring the fingertips to the shins for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise. Sweep the arms overhead. Maybe that back bend you've created starts to deepen. Exhale, forward fold. Palms come down to the mat. Step back with that left foot. Again, either bringing the knee down or keeping that knee lifted. Bring the hands to the right knee. Maybe the hands come up overhead. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands come back down. Step back with that right foot coming into the downward facing dog. The insides of the elbows shine towards the front of your mat. On an inhale, slowly roll your way out to plank, taking knees if needed. On an exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Bending the elbows, tucking them in by the sides. Bring the tops of the feet down onto the mat. Toes pointing towards the back of your mat. The hands are in line with your chest. The knees begin to lift off the mat, strengthening the legs. And on an inhale, press into the mat. Lift the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, tip the hips, downward facing dog. On an inhale, lift that right leg, maybe only to hip height. Maybe you can go a little higher depending on your level of flexibility and how warm your body is. Exhale, step that right foot between the hands. Root down that left foot at a slight angle. Sweep the arms up overhead. Warrior one. Virabhadrasana. Hands come back down. Step that left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Step back one foot at a time, coming into that downward facing dog. And once you are set up here on your next inhale, send that left leg up behind you. Again, maybe hip height, maybe a little higher. On your next exhale, step that left foot between the hands. If needed, help that leg along. Place that left hand behind the left calf and give it a little assist. Root that right foot down at a slight angle. Sweep the arms up overhead. Warrior one. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come back down to the mat. Step forward with that right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to rise, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into your downward facing dog. On an inhale, send that right leg high behind you. Maybe you lift it a little higher this time. Exhale, step that foot between the hands. Root down the left foot. Sweep the arms overhead. Warrior one. If you would like a variation, you can bring those arms behind the back. Make a fist. Press that fist down towards the tailbone, opening the heart, opening the chest. Maybe you start to hinge your way down, humbling your warrior. Bringing the body inside that right leg. Allow the weight of that fist to carry you back up. Sweep those arms overhead one more time. Exhale, hands come back to the earth. Step back with that right foot. Maybe you pedal out those feet just a little bit. On an inhale, roll your way out to plank. Knees can come down. On your exhale, either lower halfway or all the way. If you're lowering halfway, the elbows are bent and along the side of the ribs. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. In upward facing dog, the knees and the legs are lifted, the tops of the feet are down on the mat. The shoulders are away from the ears. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale that left leg high. Exhale, step that left foot, again, helping it along if needed. Root that right foot down, sweep the arms up overhead. Warrior one. Maybe you humble that warrior, interlace all 10 fingers behind the back. Press that fist down towards the tailbone. Take an inhale, maybe you hinge forward, humbling that warrior. Inhale to rise. Arms overhead one more time. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step forward with that right foot. Maybe you step the feet, hips width distance apart, bend in the knees, drop the head. Bring the tops of the hands to come down onto the mat so that the fingertips face the back of your mat, stretching out the wrists. Maybe you shake the head yes, shake it no. On your next inhale, slowly come to rise. Bring those feet closer towards one another, coming into that Tadasana. Take just a few cycles of breath here. On your next inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Interlace all 10 of your fingers. Release those index fingers and start to tip your way over to the right, coming into Ardha Chandrasana, our half moon. We're just here for 1 or 2 cycles of breath. On your next inhale, come back to center. On your exhale, make your way over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, float those hands down by the sides. Take another inhale, sweeping the arms back up overhead. Maybe that back bend deepens. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into your plank position. If you have the strength and the ability, you are welcome to jump back. Take an inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Bring those knees down onto the mat. Allow the knees to come wide. The toes touch and start to sink back into a child's pose. Bring the hips towards the heels. Walk the hands out. Leave the elbows lifted. Maybe the forehead meets the mat. If you have more time, you can take a longer rest here. Maybe you pause and take 10 breaths. If you don't have that time, start to come back into a tabletop position. We bring the knees under the hips, the palms are under the shoulders. We're going to make our way into a supported side plank. So bring the weight onto that left hand and that left knee. Start to slide that right foot out on the mat. The inside of that right foot is resting on the mat, or you start to press the outside of that right foot down. The right hand can come to the right hip. The right arm can come up over, pointing towards the sky. If this is a pose you are familiar with and you would like to send that left leg out long beneath you as well, you can come into that side plank without the support of the left knee. One more inhale, exhale, release. Bring everything back to the mat, coming back to that tabletop. I will shift my body so that you can see this on the right side. We press the right hand down on the mat, bringing the weight into the right hand and the right knee. That left leg goes long out to the side. Inhale, opening that left arm. You can shift that right leg behind you so that it is like a kickstand. If you feel so inclined, maybe you start to open the heart a little more. If that starts to feel uncomfortable, come back. And again, that left hand can come to the left hip. Come back to that tabletop. Start to circle out the hips in one direction and the other. Giving those hips a little stretch, or maybe shifting them side to side. Come back to the center of your mat. Come back to a comfortable seat. Palms can face up, the palms can face down. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh it out of the mouth. Bring the palms together at heart center. Allow those thumbs to lift your heart, lift that sternum. Sit a little higher, sit a little taller. Remembering to give yourself a little thanks here for taking time out of your day for you. I thank you for joining me. I am always grateful that you choose to share your practice with me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.